This video is about the Crown Colony of Hong Kong. The Crown Colony was established in 1842 and the British reign ended in 1997. When you're dealing with colonies, two aspects are important. Firstly, a geostrategic political aspect, and secondly, an economic aspect. Therefore, it's good to know that the Anglo-Chinese trade started in 1635. From 1711 onwards, the British had a permanent trading post in Guangzhou, south of China. By the end of the 18th century, the British East India Company had started the Opium Trade, and that was very lucrative for the East India Company, as drug trade normally is, but it caused lots of drug addicts in China, and the Chinese were not happy. This is the reason why there was the First Opium War. The United Kingdom defeated China and forced her to open her country for foreign trade. There was another result. The Chinese ceded Hong Kong Island to the United Kingdom, and now the Crown Colony of Hong Kong was established. Just at this point, just the island, just Hong Kong Island. Then there was the Second Opium War. This time France and the United Kingdom defeated China. And one result was that now China ceded the Kowloon Peninsula. Not too much later, in 1898, there was a second convention of Beijing. The United Kingdom leased the areas north of the Kowloon Peninsula and the islands around Hong Kong Island for 99 years. On the 1st of July 1898, the British took control of the new territories. During the Second World War, there was a very traumatic time for the Hong Kong population. After a fierce fight, after heroic defense of the Crown Colony, the British had to surrender and the Japanese took control. But, as you know, the Japanese lost the war and then Hong Kong was given back to the Royal Navy. All seemed to be good, perfect times. And for Hong Kong, it became even better. In China, the communists won the Civil War and the People's Republic was proclaimed. Communism and economy normally do not go well together. And that is the reason why many companies, especially from Shanghai, moved to Hong Kong. Hong Kong then grew to a major economic power in the world. It was a tiger economy and became a leading financial and services center, not only in Asia, but also from a global perspective. But the year 1997 was coming closer and closer, the year when the lease of the new territory would end. The first time that was publicly mentioned was in 1979. The governor of Hong Kong raised this question when he was on an official visit to China. In 1982, the two leaders, the Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher of Britain and China's Deng Xiaoping, met in Beijing. And they had very different positions and different ideas what should happen with the future of Hong Kong. The British position was, we have international treaties and we have the Crown Colony. Our territory is Hong Kong Island, the Kowloon Peninsula, and the easiest is just to renew the lease for the new territories. We want to remain and secure a presence in this region. The Chinese said, we will not make any compromise. Hong Kong must fall to China, and if necessary, we will use military force. So there was not much going on. But then the two sides come closer to a solution when the British gave up their goal of a permanent presence in the region and China formulated the principle one country, two systems. In December 1984, the Sino-British Joint Declaration was signed and Hong Kong was then handed to the Chinese and became a special administrative region of the People's Republic of China on the 1st of July 1997. The Crown Colony of Hong Kong did not exist anymore. That was the Crown Colony of Hong Kong in 5.